Well, we're back in the grasslands here in Nebraska. Antelope hunting this weekend, Labor Day weekend. It's Friday. We just pulled in here about 8:15, 8:30. It's now 9:30, 9:40. But we've been seeing goats the whole way in, so pretty good sign. The only thing we're going to have to deal with here is the cows again this year. There's a ton of cows out here, and they're just in that area. I've got 2 or 3 goats over here with some does. I had 2 really nice bucks run out in front of me when I pulled in to set up my tent. They were down in this little ravine here, and I think we're gonna really, if these cows stay east and leave us this pocket here. Now this goat here, doesn't seem to be too bothered by the cows. He's right out there with them, and he's got 3 or 4 does with him. He's bedded right now. I don't think I've bumped anything too bad in here so far. I mean, we've seen goats the whole time we've been here, so it's really reassuring. We've got a good spot here. The only problem is we're going to have a lot of water and a lot of cows. So we're just going to spend today kind of watching these bucks, keeping an eye on this area, seeing what's coming and going through here, and set up camp and try to get a better idea of how to approach these bucks. So this year, now that we have a base camp, we're going to have water. I brought extra water this time, so I'm not going to get caught without water. Worst case scenario, we can get water from a tank over there, but I've also got a couple cases of water, bottled water too. So we've got a Sterapin, we can use that. We've got tablets, we can use those. So we should be good to go on water. That's what we got going. Stay tuned. Notice off in the distance, I was trying to get my bearings here. And that buck and those other does are on another ridge over here. So I am literally just covered with antelope right here. And I got nowhere to go because they can see me from every direction. Right down in this base. Those does are off to the east of me. buck by himself here, as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna have to walk the fence line down, keep the fence to my back, and set up to hopefully pull him in and get it curious. I'm gonna go up to this hill here, and he probably is behind on the bottom side of this hill. I've got my decoy propped in between the bow and my quiver. It's gonna be a long night if we start getting lightning out here. Just saying. Well, as you can hear outside, it's raining good now. We haven't gotten any major storms, so it's pretty black over there on the other side of the flat. But so here's my sleeping quarters for the night. Got my cot, got my pillow over there, got my mattress underneath, sleeping bag. Very comfortable setup on this cot. Day one wasn't too bad. We just didn't get anything done. We pretty much were just going out and seeing what was out there. So it was good to see a lot of goats. So we have a lot of choices. We are seeing some traffic in through here today, so I'm sure tomorrow we will probably get some more movement out of these antelope with pressure. So depending on what this weather's doing, this storm doesn't look like it's going to stick around too long, but definitely water holes are pretty much out of the picture now. So we'll try and get a spot and stock done. See if these goats are gonna act any differently tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Day 2. I'm gonna get some coffee made and eat a little breakfast. A rough night. And sleep very well. Alright, well, we're going to set out for day 2. The wind's kind of coming out of the east right now. And this fog is going to give me a chance to break up some ground quick and not get seen. So that's what we're doing. We're going to use our fog to our advantage. Get some miles put in here. Quick, get behind these goats and push them back this way. Hopefully that fog will hold up for a couple hours anyway, so we can get behind these goats and bring them back towards camp. Grass is absolutely soaked. I am totally drenched already, but lucky for me, it's still the 1st of September and it's going to get warm today, so
feels good right now. The only thing we're going to have to do is get around the cows. And I don't think that'll be a problem. They'll move out of my way. I hope. So we learned a couple things from yesterday already. I'm taking just the small tripods today. I had my bigger one, and trying to carry that thing around was just ridiculous. So we got the small one, a couple small ones, and then tie the bow on this. Strap the bow down to the backpack a little differently today. Yesterday we were strapping it up and down. Today we're going side to side because it's easier just to carry it that way, since there's nothing, no tree branches or anything like that to worry about. Does are coming towards me, so I'm just going to sit under this tree in the shade. Got my decoy out. He's watching them. But, I'm just going to sit in the shade and exert a lot of energy. Let this play out. There's water down over here, so I'm hoping they'll be working their ways. I'm on a creek bottom here too, so there's a lot of water in here. He's doing a little chasing. There's a couple other goats in there, bucks. They might do some chasing here too, so I'm just gonna let them keep working their way here. If this buck decides to go over there, I'm gonna get behind, follow this creek bottom and get behind this hill over here. That'll put me at least 100 yards closer. And then there's a big shade tree over there. I'm hoping they're coming this way. Alright, we just got some water out of this little hole here. There it is. There's mosquitoes and all kinds of stuff in there, but guess what? I put my mask over the top of it so no big stuff could get in there. And then left me with clean drinking water. I'll have to stair pin it. But yeah. Well, we made it to the tree. 400 yards. Belly crawling. Snaking our way through a creek bottom. And we made it. They're all bedded behind me, about 200 yards. God. How do the military snipers do it? My plan, as crazy it is, sit and wait. When it gets late, these bucks will start chasing these does. And hopefully they'll run them right by me. They've been running back and forth through here all day today. So hopefully They haven't seen me behind this tree. I should be able to get a good shot. Now it's time to rest. I just smoked him. I just dropped him in his tracks. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. I just dropped him in his tracks. I think he's down. Oh my gosh. There he is. Unbelievable. Well, it wasn't the best shot, but man, I'll tell you what, you have got to be willing to roll the dice sometimes with these animals. They are so flighty and so hard to hunt. I mean, we hit him up in the front shoulder here, but it hit him in the jugular again, and I couldn't be more happy. This freaking thing is gorgeous. He was chasing all these does and chasing all the bucks off. I mean, he's a good goat, man. Oh, I am so happy. Like I said, it wasn't the best shot, but 90 yards. He was back, basically just standing right here on this hill. And then I was down at the tree here, and he just stood here like a king. I mean, he was just, and it happened so fast, I couldn't get it on video. I had to take the shot. It was all I could do, because the other ones, the does busted me. There they go, right there. They came down here to drink, and they busted me. They came out behind me in the tree, and I didn't see them. And then I saw these two, and the doe, there was two more does back here that he had corralled, and they took off down this little gully and across here, and he came up here on top and just stopped. I mean, he just perched like he didn't have a care in the world. He was just gonna watch, see where they went. But it was a mistake. Absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna have to get him taken care of here. It's later in the day, so it's not quite as hot, but I still want to get them taken care of as quick as possible. Their hair is so fine, oh my goodness. Just putting the hands on one of these beautiful, majestic things is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I know there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to have their nose up at me for taking a 90-yard shot, but you are not going to get any closer to these animals on the stock than 100 yards. It's just, I had him at 80 over here. He was chasing another buck. He came in around 80, but he never presented me a shot. He was on the run, and man, when he came up here, it happened so fast, and it was just, everything was going so quick in my head. I just couldn't get the camera ready and everything else, but we got the job done. We got it done. Now we got to break him down and pack him back 2 miles to the truck. And I am a happy camper. I haven't heard how the game went today, but if we won and I got my buck today it will be a day I will never forget. A day I will never forget. All right, well, another successful hunt. It's been a great year so far. We've got a couple turkeys and an antelope now. Can't be more happy with the way this year's turning out so far. So just a little breakdown of the hunt. Kind of want to give you an idea of what we went through yesterday and last night. So when we started this hunt yesterday, we took off east here, went clear to the farthest boundary as we could, which was about a mile and a half, and then we cut across, and right out here in this area right here, and you can see it in the camera, I don't know if you can, but there's a couple of peaks out there. We were actually behind those peaks, and when I put it on the map, it was about 2.5 miles back to here, a straight shot. So we had to, by the time we got that thing broken down, it would have taken me a lot less time had I not been dealing with the mosquitoes. They were absolutely carrying me off. I mean, it was ridiculous how bad those mosquitoes were. It was dead calm. It was hot. I was by that marshy water, and oh my Lord, it was ridiculous. So anyway, what took, probably an hour or so, should have taken a lot less time. But anyway, after we got him broke down, we ended up having to come back in the dark. And one of the things I'll tell you, if you're going to be navigating at dark, you better have some kind of mapping system or something to get back with, because there's no way I would have pulled that off in the dark without it. I use the Onyx maps. It's a good system. It's reliable. There was a couple times there where I did not trust the system, because depending on how you held your phone, it would give you a different coordinates. But after a while, I started to understand that I needed to have it a certain way. Started trusting it, but by the time that happened, I was clear over here. Probably, that from there to straight across would have been probably about a half mile. So I got about a half mile turned around or off course. And so I ended up relying on the map, which I followed that fence line up, and there's fence lines every mile or so around here in big sections. So I hit 3 different sections of fence in the night, which really had my mind playing games on me. So anyway, we got it back. We actually shot past camp about 300 yards, or not 300 yards, probably about 100 yards or so, and then finally doubled back a little bit, and when I came over I could see the reflection of my truck and the little
reflective tie downs on the tent. So was very happy to get back. I'll tell you what, I am not in the shape I should be if I'm going to be carrying 70 pounds on my back 2.5, 3 miles. It was pretty brutal. I know, you know, a lot of guys that elk hunt and stuff say that's nothing, but for an old fart like me, that was a jaunt, and that was a test for sure. I think I left there probably. I think we got out of there right at. It was starting to turn dark right when I got everything packed up and started walking. So it was probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And by the time I got back here, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Just to recap the hunt a little bit, we had a creek bottom that meandered back and forth. All these little creek bottoms kind of go like a snake through the bottoms, and we were about 300 yards away from this 2 big cottonwood trees that were sitting out there in the middle of the field. And when I initially saw those groups of antelope, they were sitting right around that tree. So I got down into that little bottom and I started crawling my way 300 yards. By the time I got to that tree, it took me about 2 hours to belly crawl and scoot on my butt, just throwing the bow and the camera out in front of me each time. So when I got to the tree finally, 2 hours later or whatever it was, they had worked themselves out further, which they were another 200 or 300 yards away from me. But they were staying in this basin. I was kind of in a little basin with hills all around me. And what was nice about that area is it's kind of like the Halsey area that I hunt. It's got a lot of hills that you can maneuver around, and creek bottoms that you can get in position on them a lot easier than this flat ground. This flat ground has excuse me. This flat ground has a lot of good bucks in it, but that's why they're big, is because it's so open here. As you can see behind me, there's actually a buck right out here, and he's a really nice buck. But it's so open out here. This whole mile section in here is like this everywhere, and it's really hard to get into them. So anyway, that's it. 2019 antelope hunt. Got her done this year. Now we can concentrate on mule deer. Stay tuned for some of those hunts coming up. Hopefully I'm going to heal up. And I'll tell you, I'm beat and battered, man. My knees and my legs and my hands are just, I've got so many cuts and scratches on my fingers and my hands from all the cactuses and stuff like that. But yep, 2019 is wrapped up antelope season. Thank you for watching Public's Eye Outdoors. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let them know about the channel. It helps me out. Makes all this worthwhile. I would do it anyway, but it's just fun to show these hunts to you guys. And as always, stay safe in your hunts, and we'll see you on the next video of Public's Eye Outdoors.